First of all, state your name for the recorder.
Charles Gary Storke.
Okay. When did you join Singerly Fire Department?
When I was 16.
Why did you join Singerly?
I had a cousin that was very active in the company.
Okay,
And our
that's
main-
my next question, is relatives, etc.
Yeah.
But what made you just want to join Singerly?
Well, the biggest thing was they needed volunteers, and I felt like I really wanted to join. So I did.
So the reason you joined was to help others out.
Yes.
Okay, now you can tell me about your family, people.
Well, I had a first cousin named Jack Jamison. He was very active in the fire company. Am was wise, far wise.
Jack, what was his last name?
Jamison, Jamison.
Okay.
And he got us looking at things. We'd go upstairs, play pool, do things like that. We was a guest of his, and that's how we really got started with it. So
That's how that really went on. Okay. Was your brother already a member at that point?
yeah, we both joined together.
There was nobody else that was in as a relative or a family member?
That came later.
Okay, so not at the time that you
No.
came in. Okay. Who was present during your time?
Mitch Bolden.
And who was chief?
Ernie Foster.
Apparently him and somebody else bounced back and forth as being chief at one time.
Well,
Slaughter, I guess it was.
Slaughter was chief for a lot of consecutive years too. Ernie was, I don't know how many years Ernie was in, but Ernie served underneath Spec for a while as an assistant, I think, after Spec took over as chief.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Let's first, you're not the only ones called him Spec. They just say Spec, and I'm looking at who is Spec.
Well, that was his nickname.
Right.
He originally was on the far line in the Navy Department in Bainbridge. That's where he got his
Right.
training and stuff. And in his day, he was a very good chief.
Okay. Now, were you a line officer at any time?
I was lieutenant. I was that for a year.
Okay.
Don't ask me what year
I'm
because
not
I
gonna
have
ask that.
I don't have any idea.
Did you serve any other rank at any time?
Well, what do you mean by ranks? You
Or
talking about?
did you become a captain then? Did you?
No,
become
I did
assistant
not. I
chief?
did not advance in the far line. The lieutenant was as high as I got, and I served that 1 year.
Okay. Did they have sergeants back then?
We had what they call Mr. Jack Jamison was actually what they call the sergeant, but he was actually in charge of all the hose in the company.
Oh, okay.
Pipeman,
Okay.
chief
Okay.
pipeman is what the free.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about committee chairpersons? Were you any of those?
Where you want to start at?
Just, yeah, you don't have to give me years. You just whatever
all
it
right.
was.
In the smaller ranks, I ran bingo as bingo chairman. I ran a lot of fundraisers for the fire company.
Now, when you say fundraisers,
Oh, I'm talking about bingo, 50-50s. See, in our day, in our heyday, when you come into fire company, we did not specialize. When you entered the door as a fireman, and the board voted on you as a regular fireman after 2 years, you had to be 18. In that time, you must do certain things. Dick Macemore, I can remember him clearly. He used to be a town police officer. And he was in charge of running all the 50-50s. As the probation member, as a regular member, you better sell tickets on the Saturday. Because that's how you got in the company. You had to produce in order and the fundraising that way. Bingo was held at the old place.
Now, when you say the old place, are you talking the one right down here?
I'm talking about the fire station on North Street.
Okay.
All right. And the membership as a whole is quite different than what it is today. we have all this specialization. I'm not knocking that. We're not. And our task in my day, fight fire, make sure the ambulance got out, keep the firehouse as clean as possible. Many jobs like that. And one thing I think we miss today is fellowship.
Mm-hmm.
We got to know each other real well. We fought fire together. We knew people's capabilities. And to be honest with you, a good time was had. I really feel today, I took a 60-hour course before I could ride the back step. That was what they call a basic course. And then I took an advanced course. Total time between both of them, the basic course was 60 hours. I think the advanced course at that particular time was 25. Then we had what we call special fires. And you could go on. I mean, there was a lot more classes. But, today it takes two people to make a living. You're putting the stress on the family. You're putting the stress on volunteers. And you really got to have ability to be a volunteer today as far as I'm concerned. And I think that hurts all our productions.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you want all that information, but you
No,
do.
no, I want that. That's what I'm looking for.
In our day, we had all orange. The ladies' auxiliary bought our first heavy orange, which we, as a company, had to send $10,000 down to the orange country to pay for that. And the ladies' auxiliary, and when I was president in the current years, they wouldn't let me make a payment. They paid that whole engine off, which I think, even back there in that particular heyday, was remarkable.
Yeah. Yeah, because
And
dinners were less than $1.
and they worked very hard. They did not have the facilities as we have today. And I've always wondered, but I don't know where it would be today, and this is from my heart, without the ladies' auxiliary. Well, we've had difficult times. There's no doubt about it. And anybody says they don't have difficult times, I don't want to be around.
Right.
I really don't. But what I'm trying to say is we adapted to our situation. Everything in my day didn't have to be bright, new, and shiny. It had to get the job done. And I can't express that any more deeply, but I watched one engine roll in here, a 1937 International with a 35-foot ladder on the top of it. Talked about a fire truck, completely equipped. Ladder, fire extinguishers, hose lines, $37,500. And to compare that to a day engine, there's just no comparison. 750, 800,000. It shows you what we had to work with. And let me tell you, it took a lot of carnivals and a lot of money just to raise $37,500.
Right, back then, yeah.
About some of my history as being a member of the company, I got into the political realm right after I became a lieutenant. I was secretary of the company for about 9 months because we had a secretary who resigned from the board. From there, I went to second vice president, and from there, after a couple of years, I went to first vice president. And don't ask me what year I was elected president, but I served the company as president for 2 years. I am very proud of this company from where we started to where we are right now.
Mm-hmm.
I was very tight with the dollar when I ran this company. And I'm talking about 50 years ago, our top budget was $186,000 the last year I run the company. This gentleman and I'm right now that I'm talking to this particular camera, I want to get this in here. I have been kicked off the equipment when I was a probie. We have 2 engines responded to structure fires. If you want a top qualified fireman, they kick you off, and you better get off. The comparisons I'm trying to make is to look back. This company wasn't made in one day. This company's been made almost 125 years now. I was here when we celebrated our 100th year. I've been here for maybe the next 25. I don't know about that for sure. I'm the oldest living president of the company right now. Walter Morgan. Bill Clark succeeded me as president, and then there's Walter Morgan as president. And I think the next one was Don Hicks. Donnie Hicks has had it for quite a while. But I've seen a lot of history. I've participated in a lot of history. I know right now, deep in my heart, that we don't have the volunteers that we need. Back in those days, I don't think there's any different today, but we didn't have the equipment that you have. Not the modern equipment. I waited a long time. I never did have a brand new response code, even when I was president. And we just had a lot of fires in our day, and you might get mutual aid once in a while. It's hard for an old timer like me to say you got to call Chesapeake, Northeast, Rising Sun, Newark on a structure fire. It just, I had a bad reputation when I was president of this company because, and I wanted to get this on film. You had duties to perform, NES week party and stuff like that. But I was very strict on the membership as president. If you got yourself in trouble, you had one chance. Second time, at least 30 days or 90 days from the company. And sometimes complete expulsion. Where has that all went to? I could go on probably for hours and hours. I'm not going to. But I want you to get a true feeling. I'm no tougher or any rougher than anybody else in this company today. But we had very good leadership. Not just me. I had 12 people on this board of directors that supported me. I'll never forget them. And that's what you need. You need team, cooperation, you need comradeship, and the biggest thing is you got to be going in one direction, not 22.
Doing stuff like that.
Used to love to fight fires till I got in the political realm. That was my biggest thing. And I consider myself a halfway decent firefighter. But after the lieutenantship, I got into the running of the company, administration, and I found a home there. So I say that was actually going into administrator's position back when. You're looking at a man that's run the first crab feast in this company many years ago. You're also looking at a person that took on a lot of different fundraisers. They had a shrimp feast, crab feast, gambling. I don't know how many carnivals I worked for 2 weeks at a time. That's all in the past. But you see, when we've done that, we made money, we saved the money, because we never had a lot to go on.